Ah, Warriors, I got a question to ask you. If you had to have only one firearm for the rest of your life, would you entrust it to this Smith& Wesson 380 Bodyguard? Let's talk about it.
Content of this video is for educational and informational purposes only.
First of all, YouTube, let's start this off correctly. Everything is clear. There's no magazine within this firearm, and the chamber is empty as well.
Trigger maniac gang, if you should know. Don't make me call John Wick 2.0. Baby girl ain't got no motion, she ain't my type. Fully loaded, nigga, we ain't gon' fight. You wanna fight? Fight for your life. We out night riding like Michael Knight. Baby girl ain't got no motion.
Oh yeah, let me give you guys a little bit on the features on this firearm. It has a manual safety. Let's turn it in a direction so you guys can even see. Manual safety right there, which is decent for this platform. Everything is really tight and hard to manipulate. We also have our takedown and our slide stop on here, and our laser button activation. That's actually on both sides of this platform. But the slide is quite stiff and hard to rack. Let's go ahead and put it back. As you can see, I was just messing around a little bit, but we are clear. The chamber is empty. Let's go ahead and give you a quick trigger pull of this firearm to show you guys how heavy this thing is. So that's one trigger pull. And I have to say that that is about 12 pounds in my opinion. 12 pounds, guys. That sucks. Now, for a platform this small, you do want the trigger to be a little bit heavier, just to make sure that the shot that you're taking is what you want to take. You don't want to activate this trigger by accident for anything, or any trigger for that matter. But it is extremely heavy, and the reset is basically the whole trigger length in itself. The reset is the whole trigger length in itself, man. So this gun's features are garbage in my opinion, and the laser sight on here is pretty dim. It's hard to see at distance in the daytime. I mean, of course, it works at around 5 feet, 10 feet, but as you can see, this button is really mashed in. These guys did a terrible job on that, as I'll explain later. And I am also missing a button. Man, guys, so as that first question that I gave you at the beginning of this, I mean, would you entrust your life, or would you only carry something like this for the rest of your life? I know a ton of y'all down in the comments were telling me, nah, bro, you tripping. And I'm not, because I wouldn't either. So let's go ahead and get this started. Do I think that this platform is worth it at the end of 2024, going into 2025? Truly, is it worth it in the modern age of firearms? For me, it's gonna be a no. And first of all, I'm gonna give you a little backstory on how I even acquired this pistol, bro. This actually came in a set. I went to the firearms store, my local mom and pops. It wasn't a pawn shop, and it wasn't anything big like a Shields or something like that. And they had a special going on around this time. I think it was close to now, or it was after the New Year's actually. And I was able to pick up a CZP07 used, and this as well used. It was in better condition than it is right now. I kind of beat this thing up, and it looks a little more ratty than it actually is because I got this dirty goon tape on it, as you can see. But what else? Also have a little bit of stip on there. Don't want to flag myself. I almost did, guys. Almost was a big loser. But what I can say is that I got this because it was on a package deal, but I don't think I would have picked this up if I had to go out and pick up something new for myself, or even if I was just on a budget. I think that I would definitely go with something like a Taurus. So me picking this thing up and getting in that package, it was an absolute deal for me. But as I took this thing home, I had to acquire some 380 ammunition. That was actually a pain in the ass, to be real. It's easy to get smaller amounts of that particular round, But when you're looking to get it in bulk, at least at that time, it was hell. Now, let me give you some context. Around this same time, it was hard to even find 9 millimeter. You guys remember back in 20, end of 21, all the way up to maybe even the beginning of 23. It was just crazy to get the a right amount of ammo that you needed to go train and go have fun on the range. But so that limited the time and the exposure that I could have behind this platform. I ended up probably putting through this, I want to say less than 1,000 rounds to date, and I've had this for about 3.5 to 4 years, maybe about 4 years, so maybe 1,000 to be honest. But is this thing comfortable to shoot? No. My hands are the whole thing. I can cover this up. My hands are literally covering up this whole platform. The grip is so nimble that my fingers almost touch the back of my palm right there. So getting two hands on this and getting a proper purchase on this firearm is damn near impossible for me, bro. And also, I would even have put this in the hands of people with smaller hands, like my girl or even my little cousin, and they had the same issue that I had, man. It is very uncomfortable. In the year 2024, or even, I would even say way back into 2015, this came out in 11, guys. This is the first one, 380 Bodyguard Gen 1. This didn't have a use, in my opinion, that whole time. When I got it, I looked at it like it's a good backup firearm. But then when you go into the thought process of where you're going to carry it, how you're going to carry it, I didn't want to get a holster for this because the holster would come up to about like right here, and I wouldn't be able to get a proper purchase on that unless I mashed down on it from the back and then try to pull up, but I still wouldn't be able to get my fingers around the front portion of this grip. So in order to give myself a little more traction when I'm on the range, just having fun with this thing or trying to have fun with this thing, I have put some grip tape on there. This is goon tape. I'll go check it out on IG if I need to find some goon tape, not your normal hockey tape, man. I could change it out, but I kind of like it a little rattier. I like it to have that use case look. But at the same time, this is something that I would never defend myself with. Obviously, it's still around and it can get someone up off of you. Let's go ahead and rack this chamber, rack this slide again. Show clear for YouTube. Since I'm getting ready to pick up some ammunition, and I'll go ahead and drop this firearm and then pick up the two magazines that it came with. One of them has a slight pinky extension. That gives you a little bit more of a purchase on this platform, but at the same time, it's not doing me any justice with my hand length. Like, it's not that big, bro, but the length, my fingers, my digits are kind of long. So it sucks, man. It came with two magazines with 6 each, one up top that equals 7. So you got 7 plus 6. You have about 13 rounds in this platform that you can carry unless you're gonna run around with more magazines than 2. Me personally, why would I carry a firearm that has 2 magazines that equal up to 13 when I can go get a compact with a standard of 15, one up top, 16, and don't have to switch out magazines so often, obviously, and have the comfortability of having a decent sized grip. And a lot of the platforms that are coming out these days are slim enough and small enough that you don't have to worry about not being able to conceal it. Me personally, I carry a Prodigy, and that's pretty big. So I kind of don't care if somebody knows that I'm carrying. I'm legal. I have a license. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to. I'm not flagging or showing anybody my platform that is not in a controlled area or at the gun store. A controlled area. I mean, you get it. You get it. So this right here, for me, is a no-go. And I've thought about, taking it to the shop and getting rid of it and figuring out what I can do with it. But at the same time, I don't want to get lowballed. And I guess that's where my conundrum is, because why wouldn't I get lowballed for such a lowball item? Now, I'm going to have to probably package this up with something else just to get this out of my face. and maybe somebody will jump on the same type of thing that I did and, have fun with it, just figure out something to do with it. But for me, I'm not going to boot carry this thing. I'm not going to appendix carry. I'm not going to bag carry. I carry in 945 Industries bags, as you guys know, or a lot of you guys know, the warriors out there that have picked up some of those bags because of me, man. I appreciate you guys utilizing my code and things like that. But I already run in there a PSA micro dagger, which is slim like this, and it holds 15. I also carry a Taurus G2 in one of the other bags, and then I have a third bag with the Glock 27 Gen 3 in there. I feel like that's as small as I want to go, that Gen 3, and that's slightly uncomfortable, but it's a lot better than this platform right here. So for me, as the title said, I don't think this will be worth it in 2024, 2025. I think that there are many other platforms that you can get your hands on for a reasonable number. This is still in brand new condition, just right below 5. Crazy, right? They have the new ones out that look a little bit bigger than this, and I have not got my hands on one of those, so I cannot give you any of my opinions on that platform, letting you guys know if that one is actually worth it. But to me, the 380 caliber in itself, the 380 round in itself is not worth it. Not saying that it can't do anything, because I do carry a 22 as well, and I feel like any round is going to do something. Nobody wants to get touched by anything, so that's not the case. The point is that 22 is way easier to find in bulk. You can't get this in bulk to be able to get some time behind it, to have some training to know exactly how to use it. So that is sort of my opinion, my rundown, my take on this. And also, I'm not the only one that has had this problem. As you can see, this is missing a button on that laser right there. And I've read in forums that a lot of people have had that issue to where they had to get this thing replaced. And I think that it is the Insight. So they don't even make those anymore. They don't make any aftermarket parts for this particular platform. You would have to get this thing in the Crimson Trace. And so that should tell you a little bit as well that their design had a flaw in it from the beginning, that they had to go ahead and go with a whole different company in order to give us some of these replacement parts for this platform. Also, the battery life on this laser is mem as hell. I'm talking about running out within 2 or 3 days of tinkering with. And, it's a laser, so it's almost like a fidget to a lot of us. And I was liking the fact of being able to turn it on and off and things like that. But the buttons started to mash up and it started to not come on when I was activating it properly. So it wouldn't be ideal in any self-defense situation. That was the only thing going for it, in my opinion, was that laser and being able to cut this on and at least be on target enough to work, to have a workspace of about 5 to 10 feet. A lot of people probably can take this out to the distance, and I probably could too with time. But in a situation where time is of an essence, I don't think that this is anything that anyone should be carrying. And I don't have an issue with Smith & Wesson. I just picked up something brand new from them. You can go check out that video down in my playlist. As far as this 380 Bodyguard, it's a no-go for me, man. And I wouldn't recommend this to my worst enemy, to anyone, especially not to someone who is just now getting started off in the firearms world and is looking for something to get them on that level of being able to defend themselves. So, Warriors, thank you for coming to spend some time with me. This is just a quick little synopsis on this platform, a little bit of rambling, like I always do, but that's me, man. John Wick 2.0. I like to give you guys a little bit of story time. I like to give you guys information. I like to just keep it chill here. But don't go out and buy this, man. Heap of garbage.
Trigger maniac gang, if you should know. Don't make me call John Wick 2.0. Baby girl ain't got no motion. She ain't my type. Fully loaded.